This is the Roland SH-09. It has a wide range, 32 foot, 16 foot, 8 foot, 4 foot, 2 foot. It has a built-in tuning knob so that you can fine-tune. It has these waveforms: noise, saw, square, and pulse. Pulse can be changed when it's set to manual using this slider, which changes the shape of the square wave. As a pulse, it's rectangular. When this slider is at 0, it's a square wave, just like the square wave here. Of course, you can manually affect the pulse width. You can use the envelope to control the pulse width. Or you can use the LFO to control the pulse width. This synthesizer has a sub-oscillator, which means it divides the pitch of the normal oscillator to acquire an octave lower oscillator to add to the sound to make it thicker. We have a slider to control the volume of this. Right now I have it set to the 1 octave down square wave. Right now the normal oscillator is set to a sawtooth wave, so it's cool that you have a sawtooth wave on top and a square wave on the bottom. You can also do a 2 octave down square wave. Might want to raise the octave a bit so that doesn't sound so low. Or a 2 octave down pulse wave. There's the pulse wave, there's the square wave, and there's the 1 octave down square wave. So you've got that to work with, and that's pretty cool. Now let's go on to the filter. That's without resonance. Here's 50% resonance. Here's more resonance. And this filter can be put into self-oscillation with the resonance. And the keyboard CV signal is constantly going into the filter, so you can do this. You can turn down the oscillator and then use the resonating filter as a sine wave oscillator. You can get some very deep basses with that. And you could use the oscillator and the oscillating filter together. The filter has an envelope control slider. We can use a normal envelope. You can use a negative envelope, the opposite of the envelope setting. Or you can use the envelope follower setting, which anything you have put into the external input in the back of the SH-09 will control through amplitude the filter cutoff point. So if it gets really loud, the filter will go further open. If it gets really quiet, the filter will go closed. So you can create some really cool effects putting drums into it, or other synthesizers, or even your own voice. You can control your filter with your own voice, which is very cool, or something sequenced, or whatever you want. And you can control the amount to which the input sound will control the filter cutoff point. That's a pretty cool effect. I wish I had it set up to demonstrate. Also, you can use the LFO as modulation, as you might expect. With the sine wave setting on the LFO, you can also use the delay time so that the modulation doesn't come in immediately. You can also use the square wave setting on the modulator, or LFO. Or the sample and hold, which sounds particularly cool with the resonance way up. As far as the VCA goes, you can have it set to the gate, as I currently have it set, which just basically means key on, key off. While you're pressing down, it's on. When you take your finger up, it is off. The benefit of using the gate is that the filter is free to use the envelope in any way it pleases without the filter, the envelope affecting the VCA in the same way it's affecting the filter, which gives you more freedom to do more crazy filter effects without controlling your volume as well. So that's the good thing about the gate. But you can set it to envelope, where it can control both the amp and the filter at the same time. Now, if we were doing that with the amp being controlled by gate, it would sound like this, as opposed to this. So that creates a big diversity of sound. Also, you can have it set to hold, so you can just go crazy and do anything you want. Last but not least, we have the volume control. That's exciting. Okay, we also have the bender over here, which can control the pitch of the oscillator. Can also control the filter cutoff point. The effect, of course, is going to be depend greatly upon where you have the filter cutoff frequency set already. Or you can control both the VCO and the VCF to whatever amount you want. And of course, we have good old-fashioned portamento. That is the SH-09.